Hi everyone, this is Francisco Pimienta. I am the president of the IMIA in Mexico, and I'll be presenting IMIA and YOU. If you haven't heard of the International Medical Interpreters Association, it's just a brief introduction so that you're aware that we are there and what tools there are for especially medical interpreters to offer in the different kinds of resources and events that we have presently at the moment. So are you able to see my screen now, Caroline?
It's actually just a blank, so I don't know if it's on the right slide or, let's see. I was seeing it before, but I don't know why it's blank now.
Okay, let me try to reset it here. It shows here that it's sharing the screen. For some reason, it gets paused every time I play it.
Okay, let's give it a try. There we go. I think it's working now.
Okay, perfect. Great. Okay, so let's get started then. Any other
Sounds
comments you
good.
have, Caroline, before we get started?
No, just introducing you and thank you for being here. This is our 14th episode now of Ideas by Interpreters, and we're really excited to have such experienced and interesting topics to go off of with our interpreters. So let's get started.
All right, thank you, interpreters, for joining. As I was mentioning, I am part of the IMIA, so we'll just go over, basic introduction of who we are, what we do, and the different resources that you have available here with us at the IMIA. We're the only national trade association representing medical interpreters in the U.S. and abroad. And I just want to be specific abroad because, we are an international association. As I mentioned before, I am the president of a chapter recently created in Mexico, but we do also have chapters in Asia, in Europe, and in different other countries that you can check out our website. We basically represent the interest of medical interpreting at every level, from your city, state, national, and international. We have different chapters. If you'd like to join one of our chapters, you can become one of our members, and after 3 months of becoming a member, or 6 months, it depends, which position you're applying to, you may become part of our association and members. We have different levels. We have, trainers, administrators, corporate levels, and different focuses to promote the professionalization of medical interpreting. What we do here, well, this is the website where you can actually have more information if you'd like to, log into it right now and check it out. It's www.imiaweb.org. There you will find all of the information. Under international, you can see all of the chapters. If you're not in the US, you can see the different chapters that there are in your country. If you like to join the chapters in Mexico or in Japan or in China or the different countries that we represent, you may be able to do so and join our efforts. If you're in the US, there is a chapter for every state, and you may be able to join the chapter locally as well. So let's go over some of the divisions and resources that we have for you medical interpreters. We offer our members the ability to join the specific divisions. They are targeted for networking. We have the providers division, trainers, certified medical interpreters division, or CMI, and the language divisions. Under imiaweb.org, you can go under divisions and see all of the different ones that we have and that we provide. And there you can find more information, to the different ones. And if you like to join, this is This is a voluntary effort. Of course, you join as a member, but if you like to be part of a process, it's on a voluntary basis that we all work. We provide different opportunities. We've developed over the years the Ethics Committee, Education, Events Committee, Medical Terminology Committee. And Medical Terminology Committee specifically, it's a very important one since we develop different glossaries for standardization of medical terminology when interpreting. You may want to have like a glossary for different terms. And so we've created some glossaries for our members, which you can consult, for example, like pain descriptors and different medical terminology for different areas of medicine, or you can find information. There's an administrative team for administrators and membership services in general, or you can maybe ask a question if you like to join an international chapter. Sometimes we have offers, or for state events, if you like to be part of a team organizing an event locally, if you know there is probably an event or a conference you see that's going to be developing in California or in Utah or in Florida, and you like to be part of it, you can send us an email there, after you join the team and become a member. And of course, you can help us in our efforts. We have the outreach coordinator. If you've heard of the CEUs and all of those credits that you need in order to recertify your credentials for the CMI, you can contact them. And if you're having an event, or if you have a conference event and you don't know if they're offering CEUs, the outreach department is the one that coordinates all of that with them. For events, right now we are organizing the first conference that's ever going to take place in Mexico. It's going to be probably July or August. It's never done before. So we're joining efforts with different associations in Mexico and hospitals here in northern Mexico. We're going to have an international conference in Mexico. And in the future, we don't have the dates yet for the annual event and state and local events for the IMIA in the US, but you can check at imiaweb.org. Events, and there we publish all of the events that we have for updates and training for medical interpreters. We also have the division for corporate members. Here what companies do, they post their jobs. So you as a medical interpreter, once you join our membership, you can see different jobs that may be available to you in your city, in your state, or remotely. That way you can apply for them. And all of the corporate members that we have usually post their opportunities they have for the different languages, and you can easily see them here and apply for them once you become a member with us. So that's another feature or tool that you have access to once you become a member with the IMIA. Another benefit that we have across the country in the US is that you can collaborate with different chapter representatives. These chairs usually renew every 2 years, and we have different locations. We usually have a meeting every month as an organization, either national or statewide. And in those meetings, we develop the different events that we're going to be holding or that we are promoting to have for different topics, in associations. And in some of the benefits that you have after joining the IMIA is the training, as I mentioned before, the different terminology and job opportunities that you may have access to. Once you're a member, you can have access to all of those opportunities that are posted by companies. You also have a newsletter that's done monthly, and we also have weekly updates posted onto our website. We also have advocacy and representation in Washington, D.C. What this means is that you have access to different tools in which, if you have probably something that you would like to change in regards to a certification or any other matter for the standardization and conference, or you have a proposal for us, you may be heard as an interpreter. We have free interpreter webinars with the CEUs. Once you become a member, and if you're already a CMI and you would like to get recertified and you're being asked for those 3 CEUs, We have different webinars that you're able to attend every month. But if you're not able to, there are free recordings on their webinars, which you can take. And afterwards, you just send an email, and then they send you the certificate, which proves that you've taken the webinar. The IMIA also has Advancing the Profession Together. It's the first national code of ethics for medical interpreters that we've developed. We have the first medical interpreting standards of practice, which was developed in 1995. We have the first code of ethics for the interpreters and educators in 2010, which are also documents that we have available on our website. The IMIA has also different publications. These are also available under our website. Once you become a member, you may have access to them under basic information and publications. We have different guides regarding ethical and medical interpreting. We have a guide to ethical conduct. We have a guide on working with medical interpreters, a standard of practice, code of ethics, which can be used in your countries. For example, here in Mexico, we didn't have one. We don't have a code of ethics, so we don't have a guide of medical interpreting or translation. So what we're basically doing is that we're using the ones you have in the US, as Japan has done it in the past, or other countries have done it in the past. So as I mentioned, we're an international association, and so based out of the US, we basically take these guides, all of this information that you have in the US already. But if you like to be part of it and you like to contribute to the development and improvement of this, you can also take part of it as a member. We have launched the CEU program, as I mentioned before. Once you want to become recertified and you've taken your oral and your written exam and you don't want to go through the entire process again, you can take your CEUs, and the IMIA has developed the education workshops that we offer every month. Once you become a member, you only pay membership, and you don't have to pay for every single one of these webinars, which are usually $20 to $25. Once you're a member and you're trying to recertify yourself, you just basically either take it the day it's delivered and register for it, or take the recording, and that way you complete. I believe every webinar you take, it's about 0.15 CEUs. So you would just need about, I believe, 20 of those webinars in order to complete the 3 total CEUs that you need in 5 years. We recommend that you take them little by little once you're trying to recertify. And once you get the certificate, you can use those in order to apply them for your renewal. Once you attend an event, and if you want that workshop or event to be part of a CEU program, we have an education program or form they have to complete. In order to apply, or you're attending an event that's delivered for medical interpreters and you're not sure if they're going to be giving you those CEUs and you like to make them valid, you just basically let them know, they have to apply and send us a form, or send the form to the administrator's team. And that way you can, apply those CEUs towards your recertification efforts. Well, for years, we've gotten calls here at the IMIA, especially in the US, and the administrator's team, where can I find training in my area to become an interpreter? Or how can I become an interpreter in medical? Or, different options and different questions. We've created a directory. Once you access the directory, the imiaweb.org education training notices, there is a specific directory there by state, country, language, category. It even has the option of online and other specializations and programs, whether you like to travel to a different area, or if you like to take it online and see if they apply the CEUs. All of that information, it's there now, available to you, where you can probably take all of the 3 CEUs in one course. And if you go there through all of the information and training programs, you will be able to find all of this information, from all of our corporate and academic members, and you can view the information for the different programs that you may be able to take in order to be and stay updated in this profession as a medical interpreters. Are you interested in compensation data from medical interpreters? Well, we have gathered, data annually from the past 5 years, and we've done something that's called a survey. This survey basically is the 5th annual salary survey for medical interpreters. It was based out of the members at that time. We've sent them some questions and questionnaires in order to have an idea of where we're heading to. 10 years ago, this profession was not even listed as one of the growing professions in the US. If you take a look at it now, it has had a growth of about 10% per year, and it continues growing. So this survey is also available to our members, which you can see, what the compensation is, or the average compensation is for this medical interpreter profession, and the different locations where it has the most growth. It's a very informative format information that you can take into consideration when planning to advance your career as a medical interpreter, or you're planning to maybe specialize in a different area. This is a guide that you can use in order to advance your career and see, which area of medical interpreting you're trying to develop, and see, which one is maybe best compensated than others. Why are we doing, this? To ensure medical interpreters are recognized as professionals at the national and state level, and also I'll add here international level. Well, the IMIA has been participating in different conferences, face-to-face visits, not just in the US, with state officials, to make this career something that we represent. Certification has been one of the efforts the IMIA has been performing to advocate recognition of our profession, and also not just statewide, nationwide, but also internationally. As I have mentioned, the IMIA has been able to create different chapters around the world. Right now, we are about 17 chapters representing the profession, and not just in the US. We're a global association, which represents the interest of medical patients when a person may not have access to medical care in their language, in their country. We also have, as of summer of 2011, any medical interpreter that may be able to visit the services, and their employer is able to find you. So in 2011, the executive board decided to make it public, so that once you become a member, you are visible nationally, and you are seen by the companies and potential employers, and they are easily able to find you there in order to connect you better in our directory with different interpreters and different opportunities. So once you become a member, you become part of this directory, and companies are able to find you easily. So we have that interpreter registry. You can take a look at it and see how many interpreters maybe in your country, in your state, in your city are registered. Many of our corporate levels, the first option they have is to look for the different registries that exist for the different, associations that there are, but probably you're in a foreign country and they're looking for an interpreter that's part of the association that has an idea of a different terminology and code of ethics. So the first tool they are going to have is to access our registry. And if you become a member, your information is going to be made public, and that way companies are able to find you easily, and they are aware that you're following the code of ethics, and you're aware of all of these tools that we have through our association. We also have our leadership development opportunities. What does it mean, or what does it consist of? So the Leadership Academy program, it's where you can take a 12-month language access leadership fellowship certificate program, which we also have at the website. The information, it's a mentorship program in which our senior directors will provide you different tools and opportunities and mentorship in order to advance your career. This program, it's been developed, and it launches about every year or every 2 years. I believe right now they're gathering a group in order to launch it again. It consists of 12 months. If you're interested in the leadership program, it prepares you for to advance your career. If probably you're just an interpreter right now and you want to become a manager at your hospital, or you want to advance your career in different ways, this program can really help you to advance your career. And the certificate, they provide you a certificate at the end of it. Well, if you like to advance your career, if you go over the information in our website, at imia.org, at imiaweb.org, or if you have more information, you have more questions about the information that could be presented there, or maybe there is a chapter in a country that you're located, or there is not a chapter there in your country, you can give us some feedback. We're open to hear many comments and questions for different interpreters. Since, again, we're a global association, you can send your inquiries here at info@imiaweb.org, where personnel will get back to you with the information that you may have to share with them. And we can probably create another chapter in your country if there is not one there, or if probably you're in a country where there is a chapter already. You can, of course, join the IMIA, and once you're a member, you can apply for the different positions that we have in the different chapters globally. If you would like to have more information, Mr. Candle wasn't able to join our webinar today, but he is the board member for US and Global Chapter Coordination. And here's his email, ecandle@imiaweb.org. You can ask him, any questions, any comments, any concerns about the different chapters and opportunities, and he'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have, about our association or any possible events. As I mentioned before, maybe you work in a hospital and your hospital is interested in developing an event, a conference where the IMIA may take place, and gather, with you in order to organize it, whatever you're at. It could be any state, it could be any country where we have a chapter, and you're interested in having probably a training session for your coworkers or for your employees. We're open to all of those events. You can send information here to Mr. Candle, and he'll be glad to organize the event. We're always open to different opportunities and collaboration, with different associations and hospitals in the medical field. This is the end of our brief presentation. Most of you probably were aware of the association. We just wanted to share with you, a brief overview of what it is, what it consists of, and hopefully you'll be able to join our association and be part of it. I don't know if anyone has any questions about it or any comments. I'll be glad to read them here on the screen. Let me see.
Yeah, hi. Hi again, everybody. Thank you so much, Francisco, for joining us. It's been a pleasure listening to your presentation and hearing about the IMIA. Yeah, so we do have a few questions here. One of the first questions is, do you have to be a certified interpreter to be a member of the IMIA?
No, you don't have to be a certified interpreter. You can apply for your membership there, but there is no need to have certification in order to apply for our membership. Definitely not.
Okay, good to know. The second question is, if we are freelance, what are the chances of becoming a member? Like, for example, if somebody's from Canada, do you guys have a chapter in Ontario or other parts of Canada?
Yes, if you go to imiaweb.org under the International tab, you can see that there is a chapter in Canada. It's Andrew Clifford, I believe it's our representative there. The email for Canada, it's imiacanada@imiaweb.org. It's there on our website, and I'm not sure if there is a specific chapter in your city. I'm not sure, where Mr. Clifford is based out of, but if you'd like to be part of your chapter in your country, you're most welcome to, as a freelancer, to join us and become part of that chapter. I believe there is a 6-month waiting period before you can hold any position with us, but of course you may contact Mr. Clifford at imiacanada@imiaweb.org for more information.
Okay, great. So, and in terms of applying, I'm sure there's a pretty straightforward application process on your website. Is that correct?
Correct. You go under members, apply, and there you can select, either you're a corporate member, you're an independent or a freelance member, what type of membership you're applying for. Since we have different levels, as I mentioned, it could be, corporate, it could be private, it could be health professional, associate. You select there, depending your situation, which kind of membership you're applying for.
Okay, great. And how much did you already discuss how much it costs to become a member? I know you said it's every 2 years you renew, but
It depends. If you're an individual, it's usually $90 a year, which is about $8 per month. But that will be, the basic one, the basic membership for a healthcare professional or an independent interpreter.
okay. Great. I think that's all the questions we have for today. So again, thank you so much, Francisco, for being here with us. I do want to mention we have another webinar coming up next Tuesday, same time, with one of our ASL interpreters, Robin Byers, who's actually on the webinar right now listening in. So please do join us for that, and there will be more information sent out again about that as well. Thank you guys again, and Francisco, it's been a pleasure.
Right. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.